are you?
Look, I am. How am I?
Yeah.
I have been up for 2 nights seeing things for what I can see in your place. You know what came to me, and I have to tell you this. I mean, you have just this whole experience. I see as a transformative experience, not sustainable. We got to get rid of that word. That's an old word.
It is.
That means keeping things as they are. Okay, that's done. But I see something in your place. I mean, this is kind of what I've done in the past. Point being, I made a reservation at the Hilton next to you because, since my daughter passed and all the things that are going on in the world in my life, I'm up a lot of times writing, and my thoughts come to me, and I think the first time I'll stay at the Hilton. I got a feeling this is going to be a continuum, and I came up with a concept like this, and I've been writing it, and I spoke to Chuck about it, but after our conversation, do you remember the movie, the baseball movie, Build the Field and They Will Come?
Oh, yeah,
remember
of course.
that movie?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I just see moving past all of these turkeys, okay? And all the people that haven't jumped on board. And when I saw that vision on television, what I said to myself, because I've seen this in my life, you're a shooting star, okay?
Well, thank you. You're
That
my
land-
ego. You're very good for my ego. And a lot of people think I got a big ego. I don't. But anyway, that's a whole other
You
argument.
do. You want to know something?
Yeah.
You have a defined ego, and it's strong as
Defined?
hell.
Yes. Yes.
And by the way, your path, right? Your path is a path my father took. You would have loved my father. It's called dominion. You have dominion over your space here, but I see it growing a hell of a lot larger. I see a shift coming that I don't think anybody's talking about. Forget the past. Forget the turkeys. We've already heard all the drama. We've heard the pain. We've heard, which is true, the agony. Because I believe you and Amber, Chuck and I, and the others around you know that it's already done behind the scenes. It's over and out. It's over and out. Look, sometimes you have a shooting star. What you did created what we saw on television, okay? That shocked me, actually. And I said to myself, sometimes things last for a minute, sometimes forever, but they have such a dramatic lasting effect that your job is done there, okay? What I see in your design is you're here to lay down the tracks and get the hell out of Dodge, meaning you need other people around you to take the pressure off you, the slings and arrows, above the fray. But I see you creating a center there for everything that's coming. Nobody's done that. You know how Trump was speaking about the World's Fair?
Yep.
Okay. Well, consider a World's Fair of new education. You got crypto. You have people doing agriculture. I've been in most of these fields except for crypto. I just see a whole world there because you built something, and it's not antiquated at all. It's only part of what's coming. But I can see you as a center, a worldwide center for all the new education. You know, we're going to burn the books. Remember Fahrenheit 400 or whatever? We got to burn the books, okay? Yeah. They didn't serve me. They didn't serve you, okay? That's why I was brain dead in school. I picked up everything. I wasn't meant for that. But I'm a visionary. You're a visionary. All the people around you are visionaries. I think what's coming on your field of dreams, okay, field of dreams, is beyond anything any podcaster is doing. Any people that didn't hop on board. But when I saw that on television, I said, okay, there's the star. That's the effect it had on the world. Don't worry if they censored you. That's a bunch of shit, okay? It's crap. You had an effect. That proves it. You touched millions of hearts. They may not give you credit, but so fucking what? Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, the fact that the Newsmax is copying our name and making it one of their shows is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And you're the one that sent it to me.
And that's because you had just texted me. I just flipped the television on. I haven't watched news forever. I listen to podcasts. I don't watch that kind of news anymore. Right. And there it is. And I'm saying, oh, shit. What is this? Look, the synchronicity is God. Whether you believe in God Almighty and Jesus, the powers that be need us to bring the conversation forward. And I used to belong to a society called the Noetic Sciences, and it's about the shift. This was 20 years ago. I found the magazine last night. What you're doing is you are taking the center that has been basically enslaving us without most people knowing it, and you're bringing in something to shatter the center and bring up a new paradigm. I see going forward, look at people, when they get all this money in the bank, right, from NESARA, GESARA, and their taxes back or whatever. I have to believe that's going to happen. I know people have had their mortgages paid, their car loans paid. I just feel it in the air. I know about the IRS and all that bullshit. Now, you have established a field of dreams. I believe, and I'm throwing this out. I mean, you don't expect you to accept it, but I just see that you have your light there. It's more than light. It's newness. I mean, that's your job here. You're supposed to bring down the entrepreneurial new stuff, the tracks. Build the silver tracks. Run with it. And it can start there. You probably have to get some more properties, too, if my vision is correct. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it seems like the fact that it was on television, I think you've already done the job, in my opinion. You've done the job. You might want to now shift, literally, into bringing in something so new. Weren't you one of the first with XRP?
Yes.
Okay. So my guess is everything you've done has to do with creating your dominion. And I'm so sad that people don't love that chair. Nobody's going to like a winner. Like, they hate Trump. No matter, I mean, I have patriots that are great that still hate him because they think he's egocentric. I mean, my work is all about having people love themselves, right? They don't like the way he talks. He loves them. Because nobody loves themselves.
Yeah, because
right?
they can't be that, so they have to hate what they can't be.
And they also have been enslaved. You want to see sovereignty, right? Isn't that what you're attempting to give people to stand up?
100%. Let me tell you something. I want my team now to move the movie forward. We're translating it. Somebody said, "Hey, you did Mandarin Chinese. You got to do Cantonese." I said, "Okay, you got it."
I read that.
Yeah. So we got enough bandwidth in our software, which is proprietary, and we want to keep it very close to our chest. Everybody wants to know all of a sudden what software we're using. That's none of your business. That's part of our secret sauce, right? Anyway.
Exactly. No,
so
you've done this. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So anyway, long story short, is that we are now translating in the last two languages, which will be Cantonese and Russian. We're done. Because we have Spanish, we have Italian, we have German, we have French, we have English. We have all the languages. We cover, the whole world can watch the movie, all 8 billion, and they can understand the movie, okay? So done. So now I want my team to move forward with that and get it, because I got big people behind us now, and we're moving towards spending a little bit of money to see if we can get to Patrick Bet David, PBD. You know who he is. Once we get to him, we're going to run with this, but in 3 weeks, they're going to still run with the promotions, like we're just rolling it out for the first day. Every day we wake up, it's like we're rolling it out for the first day. We're not going to let Charlie Kirk's death overshadow this, even though we feel bad for him, but the world has to go on, right? So we got a movie
actually,
go ahead.
Right. Keep going.
No, we have a movie that's coming out in the next 5-6 months at the very outside. Could be sooner than that. That is going to shake the world's foundation at the governmental levels like nothing you've ever seen before. I'm telling you that this is a little bit dangerous for me, but I have to do it just to prove a point. And yes, I may very well play a Houdini act and disappear like a fart in the wind, and nobody will know where I'm at for about 6 months, because the Rothschilds and the Bilderbergers and all these people are going to be very pissed off at me, and they have the wherewithal to be able to do whatever they got to do, but they got to find me first. That's a little hard to do because I think 10 times faster than the average person. I'm 10 steps ahead, just like Donald Trump. That's why him and I, even though he doesn't know of my existence, him and I are so much alike in so many ways. It's ridiculous.
Oh, he knows. He knows you. He's got to know you. Look, Newsmax. I mean, that shows you've already had the effect. I mean, that's proof. That's verifiable proof. And this is what happens in life. People steal ideas. They run with it. The person that's the inventor usually, see, you're way beyond that. But the first person out was stuff, if they can't sustain it, and I hate that word actually, but they usually lose the concept, and then the second or third person make the money on it, right? But you're past that. You're already doing well.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm only sharing what I've seen. It's not remote viewing. It's just knowledge of being in these positions before, having a few companies, whatever, going through all of this. Point being, I see your center because I know you mentioned you'd like to increase the sales there, or you'd like to make some extra money with what you built. I mean, it's sitting there, right? But no one, if you first with the movie, it's already had the effect because Charlie, whatever, if he's alive or dead, whatever, it's an irony, right? That it happened right after. Okay, so it's
the day after
the
day after my movie, immediately.
Right. So there's another power here moving us. It's another will. We see, and your heart is, you have a defined heart in your chart. That's a very strong will. People want to borrow that will because only 30% of the populace have that strong heart center. That's the ego center. See, this bullshit about ego. There's a woman who wrote, Ayn Rand, and wrote Fountainhead years ago. She was hated, but man, was she is an individual. She had no guilt, and she thought going to church and bending down and being supine and serving was just bullshit because we all have an individual mission here. It's a mission, but you're the head of that mission, honey, okay? And it's like you're here to keep inventing things, give it to people like Chuck, who might give it to me to build it out. But you need like people serving you so you don't exhaust your energy because you're not supposed to have the sustainable energy to do the whole thing.
No.
Period. It's not for you. You'll burn out.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to burn out. So what I'm suggesting is, okay, the movie's laid out, it's out there, you became a shooting star, whether you realize it or not, they stole the concept, but that's great. Same font, of shocking to me, but true. But I guess this is a long conversation before, first of all, thank you for inviting me. This time, though, I'm staying next door at the Hilton because I work at night sometimes, and I have some customers or clients I'll be working on next week, but mainly I want to work on my concept for what you have there and see if it resonates at all. Because, how can I say this? You have the opportunity, because you're this manifester, 1 in 9%, and because you've been so successful in finding the trends, you have so much creativity in your genetics, I can't even begin to tell you. And you and Chuck share a channel of the best marketing creative people in the world. So what I'm saying is, we've heard so much over the past 10, 12 years. It's so depressing for people. So, old kind of conversations. We know it's been hell on earth. We know we've been slaves. But there are going to be people that have to build the next paradigm, have to bring people into truth. Truth is so important. First Truth, you were with Joby, right? And I listened to Joby, and he was talking about, what's his name? There's a great philosopher who talked about truth. First it's denied, then it's vehemently, hated, and then the third stage is it's accepted as self-evident. So right now, the world's going to accept all this truth as self-evident. But what are we going to do afterwards? I don't know if you've thought about that. But you have the perfect place. You have the field of dreams there to bring in all the people that are good educators, that are honest, and they really have valuable education to help people move into the next paradigm. People are not going to know what to do with all that money and a changing government. I mean, the people that I know, even the patriots, are in shock. They can't imagine what's coming between silver and the dinar and the whole thing. But I'm just throwing that thought out about the next stage, because you focus on your movie, but I see your place, because you had mentioned to me in our last conversation that, it might be a little challenging now to get people there. I could be wrong about what I heard, but it's quite possible. I don't know if it's the amount of money. I don't know if it's distance.
It's got nothing to do with money. You're talking about my center, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned something to me about that. What do you think it has to do with?
It has to do with people not being awake and fully spiritually aligned and not in touch with source, et cetera, et cetera. There is a buzz, though. There's a premature buzz out there. you hear it in the vernacular of the ethos of everyday language. You started to hear those
Yeah,
buzzwords: vibration, sound, frequency,
I
vibration,
know.
sound, frequency. It's out
I
there.
know.
People are talking about it, but they yet don't believe. If they believed, they would start knocking my doors off the hinges, which would be that would be a welcome sign. Look, I knew
Uh,
that this was for me something that's going to be like swimming against the, swimming upstream like a
the
salmon.
current. Yeah, I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I knew what I was getting myself into. I love the challenge, and I'm sort of like a
Me too.
sadomasochist, but I enjoy the pain, if you will. And I can tell you
Okay.
that I believe at some point there will be months of a waiting list, unless I am able to, expand drastically the size of the place where I could have more machines
Mhm.
and fit more
Mhm.
bodies and all of that. There's more bodies
Mhm.
with more bodies that
Mhm.
are made out of 75% water equals more energy. Energy times
Mhm.
five. The energy field goes
Mhm.
up. You know how that works. But anyway, needless to say,
Well, you're about water, by the way. You're about water. You have to be in the water and near the water. That's in your
always
genetics.
have been.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I was born. I
Oxygen.
was born in the
Oxygen.
water. My hospital was across the street from the ocean.
I know. I
Literally.
believe that. Yeah, because your body is taking you to where it's sustaining itself. So I'm
Yeah.
listening. Go ahead.
Yeah.
There's that word.
So, but
Okay.
anyway,
I'm hearing
there'll
you.
be a time where it becomes as popular as medicine was in the 90s and the 2000s, and now people are walking around saying, "Wait a minute, we're all walking around like zombies. Wait a minute, we're all out of shape. Wait a minute, we're all fat. Wait a minute, we're all addicted to this food. What other chemicals are in the food?" They're starting to ask the right questions, but we're not exactly just there yet. You know what I mean? So we have to wait
Well,
for.
we aren't.
Yeah, we're not, but we have to wait for to catch up, and it's a slow process. I believe it's going to be another year, maybe even 2 years before people start to come around, and it might be another year after on top of that until the place gets nice
Mhm.
and full. It might be another year on top of that before there's no room at Staying Alive. Even though I might have expanded to a location
Yeah.
that could fit 400 people, there's still not. There's a
Mhm.
lot of people on planet Earth, right? So can you imagine if we're all got
Yeah.
the
I get it.
100th monkey syndrome? And we're all singing the same tune, and we all everybody believes with every fiber of their being that yes, sound, frequency, and vibration is a healing method that works, and that the body's attuned to, and the body does all the heavy lifting, and yes, the body could reverse and has reversed every disease known to mankind. When we get there, then it's Katie by the door, and there'll be a waiting list. Even if I have a place that's got hundreds and hundreds of
Mhm.
seating capability, and I got a
Mhm.
hundred mattress
Mhm.
operation, whatever.
Okay. Okay. I see this. I just want to share some stuff that because of what I do, that the words vibration, frequency, ascension, all this stuff, we may get it, but you're talking about the general public.
You and I get it.
I'm in the general.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
but you know
everybody was like
what?
you and I, it's over.
Well, but see, concrete education about this. Then you'll have med beds, you'll have your vibration, you'll have all these. I've heard what you have is also going to be with Tesla Energy in homes. So what I'm looking at, because you're so entrepreneurial and so powerful, I believe there are other avenues. I'm a bit of a heretic like you are, okay? So I'm not afraid to speak my mind to you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I have to be honest, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I see some larger things for you, given we're going to have, from what I gather from behind the scenes, because I am connected a little to the military because my father was in it, that they may have these in homes. They may establish scalar energy within homes. You're the first. You're born to be dominion. You're born to be the first. I'm saying to you that it's quite possible that the other thing we need, because I know what people are telling me. What does this ascension mean? What does this vibration mean? What is this energy? It's all beautiful and perfect, but people are going to have to learn too. You have crypto coming in, how to work computers, how to deal with the new monetary system, what to do with all their money. And if perchance scalar comes into homes, like I've heard it might, What's your next adventure? I'm just looking forward a little, because once this hits the wavelengths, when we go into Nisarg, people have all this money. There are going to be questions about real estate, about every kind of education. The schools will just not be functioning anymore. They don't have correct information. Where are people going to go? Where are people going to meet? Just like you're having meetings now, to learn the new technologies, to learn the new truth about life itself, about the food industry. I've been in most of these industries. I understand you're having somebody come that does agriculture, has a place where he's creating a new, place. I mean, I've been involved with people that are doing hydroponics and aquaponics and unbelievable new inventions. I see you as the middle of the vortex. Let me put it that way. So because you said something to me earlier about your place and, you're waiting for it to hit, you're the first, okay, to create something that big. I'm just thinking about your future, because I just want you to be at peace in a way. Your signature is peace.
Karen,
I think you've been in
I have
a lot of
spiritual. I have a lot of spiritual leaders. You're up there in the top 2, top 3 category. I mean, you're amazing, and listen. I could tell you that you're absolutely right about just about everything you're talking about. But
Okay.
the problem is, I'm a misunderstood person. I'm a person that's highly envied, even though people don't say it to
Yeah,
you. You could read the body language.
of course.
You could read the energy right over the phone. I know, at least I could. You know what I mean?
Look, yes, but I think it's because it's your imprint as the king. Okay, your genes go back thousands of years as a ruler. I lived with a father on the path of dominion. I really know you are. My father learned. His energy was enough, yes, to intimidate, but he counseled, but he didn't speak into the world, because at the time nobody was doing that, in the 50s.
Continue, because I'm going to make you laugh in a little bit. Go ahead.
But what I feel from you, and you don't have to listen to me. I mean, look, but we met for some reason. I see the future ahead. I've been in classes with Rupert Sheldrake and do the remote viewing stuff. I've drawn things that happen years later. I'm very intimidating to some people. I don't speak until I'm spoken to usually, and when I'm invited in, then I open my mouth, because I feel I'm invited in. I can trust what I say might land on somebody.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you, what I see in you is you're going to come down with the inventions, the entrepreneurial wisdom. You're like the gunslinger. Why do they hate you? They feel your energy, but they're scared of you. It's not their fault. You have very powerful energy, a very strong self-confidence, a good, strong ego. You're sitting on a throne which you belong on, okay? But you can imagine what that does to the populace, who have been so whittled down, they feel like they're nothing. I deal with people all day long that are self-hating, and I can bring them to a point where they understand they have value. And they don't have to hate anymore, and they don't have to hate other people or project out. See, blame and fault is not part of what I do. And I don't think it's part of what God does. I've watched enough NDAs, near-death experiences, to know there's not really sin the way we've been told. That's another trap for humanity, in my opinion. But I see everything goes through a living and a dying stage. I see you have laid down amazing tracks that other people could not have done. You were born to do that. I'm just looking at what's now needed in the world. When people are so confused, a lot of people come to me, what is this vibration thing? What is this, frequency thing? Well, there's a concrete place you can look for the frequency thing. Okay, but I'm saying that people are going to need all these new amazing inventions and learn about them, and then learn how to use crypto, learn how to do real estate, learn how to create a trust, talk to common law lawyers. There is no place like that on the face of this earth. If there's anybody that I've ever met besides my dad, is you. And I don't bullshit. I think you
Well, the
tell in
one
the
thing you
tone of my
said
voice.
earlier is I have a defined ego. That's a very correct version of who I am. I'm
But
defined
it's a
meaning,
good thing.
yeah, no, it's not like I'm an actor and try to create this thing
No,
like I have an ego. No,
no.
I am defined exactly to what you said.
It,
You know how many times I walk into a restaurant, the restaurant is empty. Amber will tell you this has happened to us dozens and dozens of times. We walk in, the place is completely empty. Maybe one chair, one person sitting there, another person sitting there. We walk in, I shit you not, within a half hour, 35 minutes, the fucking place is completely mobbed. It's the energy.
yes,
Number one, this has happened many times. The people say, "Why don't you come back more often?" Because they realize something's up. I've never been this so mobbed. Why don't you come back? Of course, yeah, I don't have
of
time
course.
to be partners with everybody on planet Earth. But reality is, they also a lot of people will walk in and they think that everybody there is just an employee, even though the owner's there. I give this aura, and people think, "Oh,
Yes.
you're the owner. Congratulations, this is a great place." And they'll shake my hand to let me know that I'm doing great. I'm saying, "I'm sorry, it's not my restaurant." You
I
have no
hear no,
idea.
I hear you. I gotta let you listen to this podcast about Manifest This from the guy that's got yes, but you also have an aura, and this won't offend you because I know you've experienced
No,
it. You
I
know why
don't
people
know.
come at you? I know you listen to me. But your aura is meant to actually repel people from coming to kill you. Okay? You're the gunslinger. You come into town. You lay down the tracks. And then the projector type, the people that create systems like Chuck come in and they take your ideas and you go and rest for a while and you come up with a new idea. You come back to town with that gun and you shoot that new idea and that projector picks it up. They create the systems and I'm a builder. I build it out. And then you go and rest. Okay. The other thing I'll tell you about what I've learned from Lao Tse, the Chinese philosopher, and I'm sure you've heard about the art of war and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there are 4 types of followers. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I know you're such a loving, good person. And I know you've experienced the slings and arrows because of who you are and your fucking chair and all that other stuff, okay? Which you belong on. And turquoise, by the way, gives if you want to talk about frequency, turquoise itself gives out a huge healing frequency. So you sitting on turquoise is also something you probably never knew about before, but that's besides the point.
My wife picked out
My
the color.
point is,
My wife picked out the material. I wanted
amazing.
orange leather. That's what I wanted, to be quite honest, because I'm in love with the orange man.
Yeah, and orange, I think it's the orange in Godfather, It represents death and transformation also, when things are about to heat up. Now, orange is an interesting color, right? So, but for you, here's the thing I've learned about leaders. And my father perfected it because of, he was a prize fighter. He went through hell in his life. He was orphaned in the street at 8, turn of the century, whatever. He learned, and I love this, about the way the Chinese look at leaders. There are leaders, and you're designated as one, and you're only 1 in 9%. Look how many 9s you have in your life, which is amazing to me. That's another synchronicity. There are leaders that love to lead and followers that love the followers. Then there are leaders who love their followers, and the followers love the leader. Then there are leaders that love to walk with their followers. But then there's the leader the leader whose followers never know they've been led. Whose followers never know they've been led. My suggestion, I'm not even supposed to say this to the king, okay? I just happen to be a fucking alpha, okay? And I'm here to take care of the pack, and that's like the general of the army. And I have to be authoritative, not an authoritarian. And you can imagine the slings and arrows I get being a Karen. And you know how I talk, so you can imagine what I get. So I'm serious. I do my best to be the kind of leader, and I do appreciate life itself, especially after the loss I just had. I'm suggesting to you that you understand your energy, as loving as you are, is a little fearsome. Your dominion. People are a little afraid of leaders. You know that? Because they've had such bad leaders from the moment we got on Earth, however we got here. Most leaders don't have followers that don't know they've been led. And I just felt I had to say that to you. Of course you're going to draw people to you because you have a big, generous heart, okay? But what I'm saying, I guess, is the thing that's coming in this world, there's so many new things. I just see you as the center. I can't help myself. I haven't seen too many leaders out there that have done what you do with a big, generous heart that people are a little scared of because you speak off the cuff. You speak, I get you. We come from, it's not gangster, but it's, New York mentality.
It is gangster in a way, except we don't use bullets to kill people. We use healing technologies to heal people, and we're gangsters.
Yeah.
We're gangsters to the medical mafia system because they say these guys, because they don't realize they don't actually think we're coming, but we are. There'll be a day where they're going to be out of business.
That's right.
You understand?
Well, that's the point. You got it right. You nailed it with your center. How are people going to go forward into this new paradigm, okay, without education? You've been educating people. Chuck educates. All the people around you, this guy Joby eventually, the agriculture guy.
Joby is a genius. Joby is a genius on steroids. And not to get off track, I got to send you the video before I forget. Remind me. I got to send you the video. Joby bought a $350 million nuclear silo / bunker, which is miles and miles and miles and miles underneath the ground in Colorado. And we got a drone footage of it that is unreal. You're gonna love this. He's such an eccentric kind of guy, Joby's my good friend. I resonate with him. He's an alpha male. He recognizes me as an alpha male. We recognize each other and respect each other as alpha males. And we don't step on each other's territory. He knows that he can learn something from me, and I know I could learn something from him, right? And that's the relationship.
100%.
But Joby and
100%.
10 years of a relationship with Joby. He's truly one of the guys that I looked up to as like, this guy, he's just got the Midas touch. You know what I mean? The only difference is he's a Bitcoin guy. I'm an XRP guy. He thinks that Bitcoin is it, and he thinks that Bitcoin's gonna be the one, and he thinks that XRP has been pissing in the cornflakes of the cabal much more so than the Bitcoin. Because when you understand that the tokens work perfectly well peer to peer, okay, and that I don't get into a pissing contest with people these days too much because I don't really have to.
Of course not.
Because the information's out there. You could if you want to do some research and just go punch in YouTube, is XRP more decentralized than Bitcoin? Shit, you're going to have like 900 videos to look at. Okay, that will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is. But anyway, and the fact that
I have, by the way.
Yeah, and you have, but and most people don't because they don't do their homework, right? But now they're partners.
Was my point, though.
Ripple's partnered with who? The Treasury. They just applied for a license for the bank. They're gonna become the biggest bank. Right. Okay, the government's being shrunk down. The IRS gangsters are going away. The mafia, medical industry mafia is going away. You got the property taxes are going away. I mean, you got a lot of people. A lot of people are going to get locked up. Yeah, it might still take another 2 or 3 years. That's why it's so important. This is why it's so important to bring in Eric Trump as the next president of the United States, so that we can carry on the same trajectory that we're on. Bringing in somebody completely different, in my opinion, would be the biggest mistake that we could make.
I don't think it could happen. I think we're already on our way. I've been through things that there's a prophecy coming around 2027. You're going to see a completely sovereign world. The prophecy was every single organization, as you're watching, is going to fall. Everything is going to change on this planet.
Well, why take a chance?
I know that for sure.
Well, why take a chance?
No. What I'm saying, What I'm saying is, we're watching it.
Yeah, no, I understand that you're saying that trajectory is going to go with or without Eric Trump, but why take a chance? I'm saying put him in. Let's hedge our bets.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. No. That's marvelous. I think they're holding him back for that reason. He's like the secret sauce. I get that. There's no question I get that. And maybe the other guy who wasn't killed either that we know wasn't killed, okay? So there's a lot of stuff out there that's going to happen. What I'm saying is, I see you, when I say Dominion, I don't think there's another person in the world like you and that has the foresight to create new things. But everything is built for... I said it, discansus, meaning no matter how phenomenal things are, things change and new things come in. Or people, co-op the new thing. So the entrepreneur, like yourself, actually like me, like my dad, whatever, other people, we keep coming up with new things to keep putting it in the pipeline, okay? Because nothing lasts forever. And from what I hear, look, I've been in scalar energy. It's magnificent. What you've done is so forward-thinking. It's amazing. I'm just suggesting from what you said the other day. Consider creating an educational center. You started with Chuck. He's going to give these classes. You have another guy coming. As an adjunct, as a backdoor adjunct, when things flip, you're going to have millions of people around the world that don't know anything about all these technologies, about new education, about the truth about Tartaria, about all this stuff. They had cars running on water 200 years ago. They had all this stuff, right? We've had people there are yogis that are able to ascend through the magnetic field. I mean, all this great stuff that's been kept from us. I'm just saying it's a consideration. I've had a vision for you, and I'm sharing it. Doesn't mean that it has to happen immediately. It's just a consideration because you've got the field that the dreams may come. I just see you as a vortex. That's all I'm saying. That's what I've been considering.
Listen,
Period.
I said there's three things that can happen here. One, people don't wake up fast enough, which will royally piss me off, which means when the transfer comes, they'll force me to build a gated community and everybody can come and buy a piece of land on this, 1,000 hectares or what have you. And you can have 2 or 3 acres of land and everybody can live happily because you're going to be living with your tribe, number one. And maybe do a podcast every now and then. Number two, completely vanish. But before I vanish, I'm going to replace myself with 100 Chucks. People that are going to be ball busters like myself. Okay. And this way, if I replace myself with 100 guys that are worse than me, I've done my job. I walk away. Right. Because right now, for example, I'll give you a classic example. Let's just hypothetically dream. Okay. If I was able to give everybody and back it up with a bond, $1 million bond. Okay. Let's just say I could do that.
Yeah.
And say, okay, you're a podcaster, I'm a podcaster. If we would all just work together, listen to what I'm telling you, and I will sign a contract with you that if you put my movie on your channel, all the podcasters do the same, and you push it like hell, not only will it get to the White House, but it will push everybody in the White House and Congress and the Senate to do their job and remove these assholes from power, these oligarchs that think they run the world and they think they own the fucking language and they think that they could put algorithms to hurt Mel Carmine and the Nino Rodriguez's and the Ron Partains of the world, okay, where the actual bumps have to be removed. If not, I have a bond that I would have to write. We would have to write you a check for $1 million because I guarantee you, if we do this, two things are going to happen. Either I write you a check for $1 million, or the bumps are going to be removed, and your channel is going to be able to thrive and go 10x what it is right now. Do you want to stay at $500,000, or do you want to go to 5 million? Do you want to stay at 100,000, or do you want to go to 1 million? Do you want to stay at 250,000 or go to 2.5 million? Answer the question. Yes, great. Sign. Let's go. Okay. If I can get everybody on that wavelength, everybody would do it. But everybody's running around with a chicken without a head, and they're not focused. They're not focused. That's the problem.
Do you think so? Well, what I'm hearing, see, what I believe has happened is most of this is cleaned up already. I look at silver.
It is, but there's so many moving parts here. You have to understand that when you steal my ability to be able to reach 1 million people, let's say Mel Carmine's only capable of reaching 1 million people. You're not only taking 1 million people away from me, you're taking at least $1 million or $2 million a year in income. And I'm so tired of people saying, oh, you just want to be a patriot, meaning we want to get paid. No, when I travel, they charge me the same freaking amount that they charge Anderson Pooper and all these assholes that are paid to fucking lie to you. They're allowed to make $5 million a year lying to you, and I'm not allowed to make $1.5 million telling you the truth.
I hear you, but you're not going to like what I say next. Okay, and I got to do this because I have so much respect and love for you. I think this is part of, and I understand this. the offense that you've experienced. Okay, it's not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling, and I really believe this in the deepest part of me, that your movie has already had a huge effect. If it's on TV, I'm not
believe you're
sure.
right.
But wait, but what I'm not sure is, I understand this is like a baby. I've had babies that have been very successful in the world. I'm bringing some stuff to show you. They've reached the moon, okay? I probably had one of the largest cookie companies, 5-star Diamond Chef, all these awards, sold out on QVC, taught on the Food Channel, worked as a chef all over the place, created another business. China stole one of them, and I'm just saying the world is such that sometimes that shooting star is amazing and it sustains for just a little while, but then the next thing comes along. And I know this is, what do they say? It's like your seminal piece. It's like you were born to do this movie. No doubt. I don't doubt it for a world. You're born to be a leader. You're born to lay down the tracks and then build a train. I'm just saying, if what you say isn't 100% what might happen, I'm thinking of your next act, okay? Because I know as a manifestor, you got a lot more coming. And I'm just looking at the near future. My personal belief is it's already handled. And Trump's already got it in the bag, and they all have it in the bag. They just were waiting for a specific event, more than likely, to reveal everything. Because I've seen stuff, even doctors being picked up. I've seen stuff a lot of people don't see, and I really can't talk about it.
I see a lot of the same things you see. No, I see a lot of it. I do believe that the movies. Yeah, I know that the movies has already had a big effect because, channels like Newsmax don't pick it up and say, "Ooh, that's a great name for a show. Let's run with that," right?
Exactly, with the same font. So what I'm really saying is, there's another act coming that the world needs you to bring it into. And I said, you built this field of dreams. I think it's going to go beyond the scalar, because I think there are plans to put it in homes with Tesla energy. So you're like one of the first, you are the first, really, to take Sandra's stuff, whatever. I guess I just see the future, and I feel that you have the power, you have the platform to step back a little bit and be a little more quiet, so they can't, but be mysterious. I just have this sense that you should be a little bit more like watching the show a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
I'll get there.
I don't know why exactly,
but I'll get there. Yeah, I need a few more chucks, and then you'll see that exactly what you just described. I need a few more chucks, and then what you just described will manifest. I promise you.
Yeah, well, you don't know me a goddamn thing. I just know.
I don't know anybody a darn thing, but I appreciate you. I respect you. I love your wisdom. I love the way you put things. What you say is so profound, and you're so spot on, because I know that you're telling the truth, because you're describing me to me, and there's nobody that knows Mel Carmine better than Mel Carmine.
I understand that, but I've had these babies in the world that accelerated, that reached the moon. But I always stayed. I had a movie made of my life that was stolen in Hollywood. I didn't ask for that. They came and interviewed me, and then they distorted the movie, which I expected. It was a really interesting experience. But then I had one more time in my life hit that star, and bingo, it was stolen from me. And I had to start all over again. So I know the feeling of launching a magnificent thing into the world and have it stolen or crushed or demeaned or whatever the hell, copied. Everybody has copied the cookies that I made. Starbucks, the whole pret-a-porter, sold to Trump. Wonderful guy, wonderful, honest man. His business is honest. I'm just feeling you, okay? And then I'm just telling you what happened to me, which might happen or not. I was given the next great thing that had nothing to do with my persona necessarily, but that I could deliver to the world. How am I talking to you like this? I mean, you're a fearsome character. You're Dominion. In your chart, by the way, what I see, I mean, you could kill me. I mean, your whole thing. No, I know that.
Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah,
What?
what's really funny is that
What?
I think that the big fierce podcasters aren't even here yet. I
Okay.
really believe that. I really believe that there's gonna be guys
Okay.
with balls that weigh like 20 pounds each, literally,
Okay.
and they're
Okay.
coming. And there'll be a time
Okay.
for me to step aside and let's give somebody else the spotlight.
Yeah, you don't have to. You never have to do that. It's how you shift and do the next great thing. That's what I'm saying.
But
I don't
I
expect
didn't
you to
want
lead the
anybody to
team.
copy my movie. I knew what I had this
Of
idea months and months, almost a year ago.
course you did.
Right?
I'm
And
sure you
and
did.
the only way that they can never steal it from you, you got to be the producer, the director, the choreographer. You got to wear all the hats, right?
I know
And,
that.
and you got
I
to be
get
able to
that. Well,
pick the
most
right
partly.
editing. You got to be able to pick
Yeah.
the right editing, like Mr. Good Luck. I changed his name because I'm protecting you because I don't want anything to happen to you because the next one I said is going to be
Oh.
dangerous. The next movie we make is going to be dangerous. I don't want anybody to know who
Oh
you
boy.
are, where you live, who your family is. I don't want no,
Exactly.
right? And
Right.
so he
Right.
understands that. He gets that. And he understands that
Okay.
I'm right because I sent him the script today.
Hmm.
Okay. And
Right.
I
Right.
sent them an audio of the script today. And he was blown away. I'm like, okay, now that you
Wait a minute.
looked
Wait a
at
minute.
it,
I missed something. What script? You talking about the movie? What are we talking about now? You
movie
said.
Dear Mr. President Part Two.
Yeah.
And there's a
Oh,
subtitle to
part
that.
two. Part
Yeah, Part
two. I
Two.
didn't hear that.
And there's a
Ah.
subtitle to that I'm not allowed to tell you because otherwise it will be
Don't.
figured out. But anyway, that's not
Don't.
important. What's important right now is that he's looked at it. He's blown out of his freaking skull. He fell off his
Okay.
chair. And I said, take it and put it on the shelf and continue with me on this journey with the version
Okay.
one, with the
Right.
translation. Then we're moving into merchandising and getting some really, really cool swag.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
design.
Cool.
And then I
Cool.
said, then I want you to
Cool.
take 3 days off. And when you come back from 3 days and you're well rested, let me know. And we're going to start on part two as our team. I hate to use the word my, as our team, which are very devoted.
Well, it is your
Yeah.
team. It is.
Yeah.
It's yours. You own the team, right? That's okay.
And
Doesn't mean you're gonna.
right, I don't own them, but anyway, our team is going to be
That's right.
pushing part one to the, like every day that we wake up, it's got to be, hey, we're launching the movie. It's got to be a launch every day. Hey, we're
Right.
reintroducing every day is going to be a promotion. So if we do that, we'll get to exactly where we want to be.
Listen, it's great, and I like the fact that you have other people speaking for you, and that you step back a little bit, so they don't send the slings and arrows at you. Unfortunately, because most of the world hates themselves, they're going to project that on you because you speak up. So that's one of the main things that I just wanted to convey to you.
Yeah.
It's just the way people operate. It's not that they're mean; they've just been enslaved. Slaves. Stockholm syndrome, they don't feel good about themselves. Rightfully so. Who could in a world like this? Who could?
Totally.
Who could? So I love you and Amber and Chuck. I'm so happy you found each other. I have some more information when I see you. This time I'm going to stay in the hotel because of the extra work I have to do. And I want to just, I think, take it all in. Next time, if you choose to ever have me back, then I would be delighted.
You're welcome
to stay with
anytime you want to come. We just wanted to, because you're coming from how far? Where do you live? What state do you live in?
I'm 3 hours across the way. I'm in Sarasota County.
Oh, okay, you're not that far, but still, you're making that kind of an effort to come, so you're not that far.
Aww.
Sarasota. The next time I come to Sarasota, I should come see you.
You'll come to me. Oh, you can stay with me. I'll cook you a great culinary delight meal and make you the best sauce in the world. Gravy, excuse me.
Awesome.
My grandma Gussie called it gravy, okay? And I told you, she opened the first pizzeria in Passaic, the favorite family, 1932 with my mother.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I used to watch the dough rise in the candy closet they had, and my sister and I would sit there with bated breath and eat the dough before she even got it out of the cabinet. So I know pizza.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm watching a lot of pizza shows. There's a guy by the name of the show, I think it's called Munchies. Oh my God. This guy travels all over the United States interviewing the owners. And then he asks them, he's so genius. He's a networker. And I know a networker when I see him, because I'm a networker myself. And he says to the owners, where do you like to eat? And there's a place over here. And they go to that place, and then he's interviewing the owner of that place. I'm like, how genius is that? You know,
Where do you see him? Where do you see him?
I will
I've
send
never
you a
heard of
video
him.
that I sent to Chuck about this guy just
Oh
traveling
yeah,
all over the United States. And see how we get off the subject, and we're talking about pizzas now, which is I
right.
have a passion for pizza, especially now that it's changed and it's gone culinary and it's
Oh
taken on
God,
all these different forms that,
insane.
back in the 80s and 90s, it was like sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, and onions. Now it's like,
That's it.
now it's all, freaking
Pineapple,
all,
peaches.
all kinds of crazy stuff, right?
I know. Believe me, I know. And
Pizza
I
with
still love the
shrimp.
original.
There's a black-owned pizza shops in Queens, New York, that is well known. That
Yeah,
there's lines around the block, and celebrities go there. He interviewed. I'll send you the
really.
video. It's like 45 minutes.
Please,
You won't be able to stop watching it.
please. I watch the Culinary Wars too. I still feel, I'm
Yeah.
part of it. It's that's wonderful. And I want to send you a video. I don't think I sent about manifestors.
Yeah.
Okay, from the guy who received this information. An amazing guy. Someday maybe you'll listen to what he was given. It's like a half an hour. But the manifester, I just feel impelled to send it, and I love that you invited me. I mean, I can't even believe when I'm coming out of it and where I'm going with
Well,
you
if you
guys.
didn't have to go to
It's just
work and
wonderful.
talk to clients at 3 o'clock in the morning, you could have slept there and charged your body up, et cetera, et cetera. But there'll be more opportunities for
Oh.
that. There'll be plenty of
Oh no no
opportunities.
no no! I want to come. I just need. I really need just a little. I don't know what I need. I just need that time because all of a sudden, like people are coming to you. All of a sudden, people are in need, and I work with people in different parts of the country. So if I have to work with somebody in Europe or in Hawaii or something like that, I don't mind staying up. See, you do very well at night. You have to even eat after dark. We talked about why you should be wearing sunglasses, no bright lights. It's not good for your metabolism, actually.
Right.
And I'll talk to you about that when I see you. But you've already found that, which is fascinating to me, that you wear dark glasses, which is perfect because that frequency doesn't help your metabolism. You do better in the dark. Candlelit dinners, my goodness, sleeping in your
Yes.
scalar energy.
From
That's your
romance.
thing. But eating even after 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you might just eat a little something and then have your bigger meal when it's dark.
I
When it's
just got
night. Your
done. I just got
frequency is
done
night.
doing a 5-day fast.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
It was
well,
112 hours to be exact. 112
wow.
hour fast, and I broke my fast, and I had some pizza, and I loved it.
Yeah, and what when you fasted, what did you drink to sustain
I
yourself?
I was drinking
Anything?
salt water,
Good.
sea salt
Just what I was
water,
going to say.
right? And
Perfect.
when I was craving a
Perfect.
little bit, I would have some bone broth. And that's it.
That is the most perfect fast with lemon, because lemon and baking soda. Do you know it's 1 teaspoon of baking soda or a touch of peroxide, you can kill almost everything in your body?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
God, there's so much to
You know what
know.
else works really well?
What?
Cloves. Parasites
100%,
Parasites hate
1,000%.
cloves.
They hate cloves, and by the way, if anybody has, see, I have to teach this stuff. If anybody has GERD, like too much acid, if they boil orange peels, okay, orange oil helps with acidity. Salt, lemon, all fruit is alkaline until you cook it.
Yeah.
The minute you know that. And even the pits, you know that a pit of an avocado,
Mm-hmm.
if you cut it up
Yes.
and you put it in alcohol, you know that alcohol,
Yes.
it's an analgesic. Okay. This is
And
what
again,
people want
my
to
my
know.
mom does it. It gets rid of the arthritis. She sprays it on her fingers, and the
Right.
arthritis goes away.
That's right. And everybody in my family had it. I don't, because I also, the bone broth has hyaluronic acid. Chicken fat has the most hyaluronic acid
Yeah.
of any food. And nicotine is one of the greatest herbs invented. And what is it? It's the Italian diet. It's eggplants, tomatoes, peppers, okay?
They'll
All
have
of the stuff.
nicotine.
The Dr.
They'll
Artist,
have
but it's not
nicotine.
with the...
Yeah.
It's nicotine. It's the leaf of tobacco. It's tobacco that has the healing properties. It gets rid of everything, even from what I understand, Parkinson's disease. What the tobacco company did, from what I've researched a little. They put pyrazine in it to make it addictive, and the tobacco company, close to 100 years ago, fought them. But of course, the cabal walked in and then made it addictive.
Well, you
But
just
tobacco
reminded me to go
itself,
get my nicotine patch. So I wear a nicotine patch almost every day.
there you go. And you can even take a foot bath in tobacco. See, this is what we should be teaching. Well, this is kind of what I teach.
Well, they
but
don't want
this
you
is
to
what people
know
need to
that
know.
because then you're going to have men with testosterone. They don't want men with testosterone. There's been a deliberate
Right.
there's been a deliberate plan, to destroy men's testosterone because it plays into what?
Of course.
Their population agenda, right?
100%. And you know that, men are DNA spreaders. You had to be to build the paradigm, to build the humanity. Women, you sustain oxytocin for about 2 to 3 hours. So you were supposed to plant seeds, and women were supposed to sit still and wait because their oxytocin, which is the pleasurable hormone after sex, lasts 2 weeks. See, God has a plan here. It's called the genetic imperative. That's a whole other discussion. People need to know this shit, Mark. People need to know this.
Wow.
Okay? So thank you for staying on. Jesus Christ, I didn't expect this conversation. Well, it's wonderful. I thank you, and I thank you, and I love the conversation. I love the conversation. I love you and Amber, but I also thank you for the invitation. I made plans because I know I'll be sort of working
take a
in the
rain
middle of the
check
night.
on staying overnight when you don't have to
I
go
will.
work. Okay.
I will. Well,
It doesn't have an
I'll
expiration
stay.
date. It's on the house.
Oh,
All right. And
yeah. Unless you throw me out. Unless
and
I say the wrong thing.
I will invite Chuck this way. He'll keep you company.
You're adorable, and whenever you're over here, well, we'll meet. I'll see you on Saturday.
Well, I
And what
was
time does this
there
start?
4 months ago. We were in Venice.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
You know that I think Tucker Carlson lives here? Did you know
Tucker
that?
Carlson
I
lives
think he
there,
has-
and Hannity,
Huh.
the disaster from Fox
Oh,
News.
I didn't know he was.
Yeah, he lives over in Naples.
A whole other story. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So much to know.
The guy
All
that
right,
the
sweetheart.
guy that Donald John Trump should have never listened to on who to bring into the White House term 1. I mean, that was when he made a suggestion who should be working with Donald Trump, he was building the swamp for Donald Trump. That's what he did because he has no clue.
Incredible. But look how, if the powers that be, if it's God, if it's Jesus, if it's some other program, look.
But let's talk a little
overcome.
bit about this. You see things that are happening that nobody else could see. You and I could see it. Chuck could see it, obviously. And people like us could see it, right?
Okay.
No question there's been many arrests. Okay? There's
Right.
no question that many banks have gone out of business and many more will
100%.
as this transition takes place. There's no question that XRP will take over the world. This is why I beat the drum so loudly and so obnoxiously, is because I want everybody, the little people, to become wealthy. But I don't want them to just become wealthy because they don't understand we're not just giving them the XRP. The XRP is a money machine. In the future, when you understand the XRP, if you have hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands even, you take that money, you put it into what's called an AMM that's owned and operated by who? Ripple. And the big companies, big boys like Cardano, Hedera Halfcraft, directly, not some fly-by-night company that's just sprouting up like an FTX and it's going to be gone with your money. I'm talking the real boys, right? We're giving them a money-generating machine, a machine that prints money every month. You're getting your stipend, right? And it's going to be a big stipend. I believe there's going to be people, and you correct me if I'm wrong. I believe there's going to be people that will make anywhere between, on the low end, $3, $4, $5 million a month. On the high end, it could be 30, 40, $50 million a month in interest. Never touching the principal, right?
The thing is, we have been so brainwashed and enslaved. People don't realize the abundance on Earth and how to create abundance. There should be no starvation. There should be no chemicals. We don't need it here. God, the Earth is Eden.
Got plenty of
right?
everything.
That's exactly right. And that's why I hate the word sustainable.
Sustainable is a word that the cabal used to make it sound like the sustainable Green New Deal, the sustainable this, the sustainable that. That's a bullshit word.
Thank you, God. See, transformation, and this is really what I believe. Change is assembling parts. You're sustaining something that was assembled in a certain way. Transformation is something entirely new. That's what you brought into the world. Something, and that's why I keep seeing a vision of you continuing, not getting stuck in one thing.
Well,
because
if I continue, here's my other third option that I didn't go over. The third option is sort of like a Patrick Bet David situation. Obviously, we got the $30-40 million a month coming in interest, so we can afford to have the best editors in the world, the best people in the world that understand social media and how to upload shit, do all the heavy lifting, right? So you'll come in, you'll be sitting there with me, with Chuck, and maybe two other people. We'll have a conversation that's going to go viral because the speed bumps are moved. Why? Because Dear Mr. President did its job, and Dear Mr. President is going to do his part two will do its job even better. Okay, so when that happens and that reality sets in, and we're sitting around the table, we got all these people doing all the heavy lifting. After that, what is there left to do? Well, we got to go play some golf, or we got to go get a facial, or we got to go get a massage, right? But we'll create so many jobs. And we'll be able to create so many more jobs because we have too much money at the end of the month. When you got $40 million coming in interest every month, you're forced to create jobs. You're forced to create, situations for people to thrive.
I'm going to bring you my humanitarian project that I started and I wrote, and it's all about that. That's what the president wants. We're creating jobs, but we're also creating platforms for new education because people are going to be lost.
Now, here's the $22,000 questions. Do you see Donald Trump moving in the same direction that we just talked about behind the scenes? And if you know what to look for, it's really in front of the scenes.
100%. I trust him completely.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Me too.
1,000. I did business with him. I have a letter from the agent that we went through. He loves cookies, by the way. Loves.
Oh, really?
But loves my cookies. Oh my! I was in his 5-star diamond book. We sold all his hotels. Oh yeah, I stayed anonymous. I like to be behind the scenes because for me it works better. But I had a father like that and mother like that. Point being, there's so much to do. Look, people don't realize when they look at a bank door, it doesn't say bank anymore. It says wealth management. That's the obvious thing that's happened already in the world. Now, I think Trump is divine. Actually, he's born, his path is the one of Eden. He's always felt like, from what I've read and seen in his genetics, he is like a child that came to Earth that wants to go back to Eden. He wants to create Eden. Isn't that what he's working on? Isn't that what we're working on? Isn't that what you're working on? The dominion is Eden.
Heaven on earth.
That's what it's all. Heaven on earth. And you won't be able to stop at one thing. You'll have your 2 films. You'll be another shooting star.
Look, when I can go through the celestial chamber or whatever modality they have that can bring me back to better than pristine levels, times 100, like when I was 17. Okay, I may change my mind, but I want my wisdom. I don't want my wisdom to leave me. I want to be 17 with my wisdom, and my wife will be 16. So we'll both be teenagers.
I can't wait. Chuck said you'll have more babies. I said, no, I'm done with babies. I'll build other things that look like babies, not babies.
What do you think? What do you think of him releasing that video on Truth Social? And somebody asked the press secretary, why did Donald Trump release that video, 39-second video about med beds? Did you see that one?
And then he took it off. Of course. That's what he does. That's what he does. He drops the bombs, and then and he has such a great way of doing it. The way he speaks plain language, right?
He's a 78.
Right there.
He's a 78-year-old with a child on the inside that is very, very clever.
This guy, he was born to do this. Look, I have a feeling. I don't know what you think.
What I think is the only thing I'm pissed off about is that the World's Fair was supposed to be in Cape Canaveral, and now they changed their mind and it's going to be in Iowa.
What did I just say?
Why would you put it in Iowa?
Wait a minute. I can't even believe you said that. Ask Chuck what I said to him today. I see Mel's Place is the next World's Fair, with all of these different new inventions in education, a massive place where people come from all over the world to see what's new. Oh, I can't believe you said that. Ask Chuck if I didn't say that.
It was supposed to be in Cape Canaveral.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's what
They
my
had two
vision for
choices.
you.
There was two things on the table: Iowa, and I
Oh
don't
my
know what
God.
Iowa brings to the table for the Cape for the World's Fair. Iowa and Cape Canaveral. I'm like, this is great because it's Elon Musk's backyard.
It's incredible. Well, you got it. You got one there too. I'm telling you, I see it.
I
You
hope
definitely there's
so.
something coming. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. What I see in your place is that I
You
have a
know, I
feeling
got kicked
Scalar
out
is
of
going
a
to be.
room. Do you know I got kicked out of an X Live the other day because they looked me up and said, "Oh, it was." I asked for the microphone when you go to play. You know, on a live X space, you request a
Yeah.
microphone, request to speak, and
Okay. Right.
and this guy, the general, whoever the general is, some fucking idiot. Like, probably like he hasn't even graduated to the third dimension yet. He's still in the second
Let it
dimension,
rip.
right? He talked to
Let it
his
rip.
co-host, who's less than 2 dimensions. He's like 1.5 dimensions, and he said, "Oh, this is the guy that believes in med beds," and they kicked me out. They kicked me out of the room because I believe
Wait,
in
but
med beds.
which room? Where? What microphone? Not on the air. Where? Where?
X.com, which used to be Twitter, right? You can go
Oh
there and
yeah.
talk
I
on
know.
any. You can just join a room, ask for the microphone.
Okay.
Because I asked for the microphone, and the guy looked me up and
Right.
goes, "Oh, this is that wacko Mel Carmine guy that believes in med beds." They threw me out of the room. Then I went
Do
to
you know
another.
what they heard?
Yeah, then I went into another room and I forget. Oh, because I was XRP and there was a bunch of Bitcoin guys running the room, and they get triggered. They threw me out of the room because I was XRP and they're Bitcoin.
I told you, honey. What did I tell you about the king? They're waiting to cut your head off, right?
Oh my
So that's what
God!
they did. They cut your voice off. Okay? It's by no accident. It's going to keep happening. That's why I say sometimes just be the leader whose followers don't know they've been led. But you can't help yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be who you are.
And then I went
That's the
into another
funniest
room.
thing.
Then I went to the room where I feel most comfortable, which is my friend To Whom It May Concern, and my good
Right.
friend Dr. James, who's also Italian,
Okay.
who's an incredible programmer on the level of like David Schwartz, that kind of level. As a matter of fact,
Really?
he has a software that would literally catapult a Ripple XRP literally 10 years
Wow.
ahead of where they're at right now. And he's dying to get to
Exciting.
Brad Garlinghouse. And I said to him, why don't you come to the party in New
Right.
York on the 4th or the 5th, right? As I'm going,
Fifth.
I
Yeah,
can't get away.
November.
I can't. So I'm going to put him on my show and hopefully he could say what it is he has without giving the secret sauce away, the secret sauce
Wow.
recipe.
Wow.
And maybe he grows
Yeah, I get
legs
that.
and maybe he gets to Brad Garlinghouse and maybe him and Brad can meet. And I would love this guy. Listen, brilliant doesn't even begin to explain. I hang out with a lot of geniuses. Not because I'm a genius.
Yeah, and no less you, honey. When I show you your chart, you got so much genius in your chart. And by the way, how can I say this? We all complete each other to some extent in the charts that I've done. I'm also having my colleague who does brilliant astrological forecasting to do it also because, look, souls are coming together to raise. You want to talk about frequency, the resonance. I like the word resonance on Earth.
Right.
And this is all in support of the poor populace that have been so enslaved. That's why I feel so. Being a teacher, I want to just help them to learn this new stuff. But you're doing it. We're all doing our part. We all will do our part. That's the
Karen, you're awesome. I love you. I can't believe we get to finally meet in person on Saturday at the open house and Staying Alive.
Yes.
And I'm gonna release this to the world. They're not gonna know who you are because we're not even gonna put your picture out there. But Karen is one of my spiritual leaders. She is amazing as an understatement, but she's like amazing times a million.
Wait a minute. You're going to put this out in public when I'm trying to stay anonymous? Are you
Nobody's
going
to know who you are. You know how many Karens there is in the world? There's like 800 million of you.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, just don't get me killed because I got 2 kids I'm still supporting. Okay?
I promise you will not get killed.
I'm always anonymous, by the way. So
I will never put your picture out there or tell them where you are or any of that.
please.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Good.
we already did. You have to. We did say where I am, right?
Well, you're in Sarasota. Yeah, we can cut it out. Or
Yeah, cut the
Sarasota, there's
place.
like 800. There's probably 8,000 maybe Karens in
Oh.
Sarasota.
No, but you know what? They always find me because it's just my karma. Okay,
Yeah,
they're gonna find. I tell you, even spell check hates me. Okay, I can't write anything that they
yeah.
don't turn into
Besides,
some
Karen's not your
disaster.
real name anyway. So good luck,
It's
guys.
not.
Yeah,
I'd like you to the crone. Okay, all
yeah.
right, honey. I'm gonna send you that podcast, and if
And
you
I'll
watch it,
send you
great.
the
If you don't,
drone.
that's
I'll
fine.
send you the drone with Joby Weeks.
Oh my God, I had to call you tonight, right? All right, all right, all right. I love you.
I'll see you on
I
Saturday.
you know what, Mr. Dominion? Let me tell you something. Okay, you're the first one that's done this to me. I've been pretty careful, but it's okay. It's all right. I don't give
It's
a
good.
shit anymore. All right, darling.
They're too busy running for their own lives right now. Believe me.
I agree with you. No, take
Yeah.
care of yourself. It's been such a pleasure. And what time is it again? I didn't get the time. We're supposed to show up.
I'm not even sure. Amber knows that. She runs the whole show there. I come there if there's an event that I'm involved with. I'm involved. If everything else, they're involved. I think it's probably 1 o'clock or something like that. I'll find out.
You don't have to. Chuck will tell me. No, you just have a good night.
Yeah.
I'll send you the podcast, and we'll go from there.
You got it. Perfect.
By the way, you devil, you. Okay, that's all I have to say. You got me. You got me. You're the first one that ever did this to me.
But it's such a deep conversation, you know.
You know what? It's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right, I love you. Have a hug.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go and stay up and eat at night and stay in your scalar energy. Okay?
Exactly. Thank you, Karen.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you, man. Bye.